Have you ever walked in a garden on a sunny day and felt the warmth of the sun on your face? Or taken a stroll through the forest and felt the shade of the trees caress you? Or sat on the shore of the ocean, feeling its serene calmness accommodate you? Or perhaps admire its passionate upheaval during a storm? One thing is certain: you are in it. No postcard picture can give you this experience. You have to make the effort to be there, in it. Being true is something similar. It requires us to drop certain images and beliefs that inhibit our ability to be. There are plenty of spiritual shopping malls full of self-development gurus, coaches, who claim to help you find your freedom. And yet, the impulse of truth is internal and eternal. It feeds the conscience and will not allow the mind and heart to rest until it's expressed. A bit like a tiny shoot that will reach for the light through any crack in the concrete, it will grow no matter what. Whilst we may listen to beautiful words describing a sacred or a spiritual experience, and it may sound like music, they're not the same as the experience itself. Sometimes they invoke a deep memory of an ancient experience. Words speak to me when I've had that same experience, but without the experience they are just beautiful words. In the end, my own experience is the real thing. So what would life be like if I was having a daily experience of my own innate qualities? From nature, we learn true being, the benevolence of being. Every element and living thing has its innate qualities and purpose that it lives out no matter what the circumstance. For example, the property of water remains the same no matter where you use it. Adaptation is as natural as breathing. We feel humbled by nature at times because that is its intrinsic quality. The naked tree or the fully blossoming tree have nothing to prove, to justify, or to show. From the child, we learn about the pure impulse of spirit, the naked truth spoken fearlessly without an agenda or fear of hurting anyone. Uninhibited joy that needs no reason. Kindness that knows no boundaries, gender, race or religion. Being true is living the experience of benevolence, humility, kindness, and love fearlessly. Such a paradox that as we get older, we become more artificial, and then only years later to realize it and have a spiritual awakening and break it all down again. It all begins when we stop. We listen in and trust the impulse of truth inside us. Silence is an essential space. The only thing that separates human beings from animals in the natural world is that we have the capacity to think. That's a blessing and also a curse. Opinions, beliefs, ideas, bookstores are full of it. Thinking starts to paint pictures, and we can please ourselves with those images, project them onto others, and create ideals. Sometimes we can set ourselves up in expectation and create our own tensions and artificial dramas. I guess it's to pass time, because it might just be too boring to be. As William James once said, a great many people think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudices. However, it won't be long before that inner impulse of truth makes you move. Thinking that stems from being is very different to being clever or intelligent. As Thomas Saz once said, clear thinking requires courage rather than intelligence. It's essenceful, simple, a bit like a drop of essential oil that can emanate a powerful fragrance and impact. Being fearlessly true in ourselves and relationships requires the courage to think from being. We only feel trapped when we can't be true. And yet they say truth hurts. Well, it's not the truth that hurts. It's the false constructs breaking down that hurt. Honesty is the pathway to allow the impulse of truth to flourish. And being honest is being open to see what is as it is. This is where courage is born. So you can't swim in a painting of water or wish for an ideal to come true. You have to make the effort to be in the experience, be in it, and the rest will find you by itself. So are you ready to be fearlessly true?